Good afternoon. This is Jason Wade from Maine General Medical Center in conjunction with Workers' Compensation at the State of Maine to talk to you about the hand and upper extremity during typing and mousing. We will start with the relationship of your wrist and hand to the keyboard. As seen in the photo here, you will note that there is pressure on the wrist and hand, particularly at the carpal tunnel region. In many cases, if this pressure is sustained, we will see discomfort, pain, and irritation at the wrist joint, as well as possibly into the hand and fingers. By simply elevating the seat, we can improve the wrist and hand position and decrease pressure at the carpal tunnel region or the bottom of the wrist near the palm. When we do this, we decrease the risk of discomfort and carpal tunnel-like symptoms. As you will see in this animation, a slight elevation of the wrist takes all of the pressure off the carpal tunnel region and gives us a much more straight and neutral wrist position. This will benefit us not only short term, but long term. This elevation of the wrist and hand can be achieved in two ways. One, by lifting the wrist as shown in the animation, or two, by raising your chair to get your keyboard at your elbow height. Another area of possible concern is a deviation when accessing the keyboard. As you see in the clip, you will notice that the wrist is at an awkward angle accessing the home row on the keyboard. As you see in this clip, you will notice that the ability to keep the wrist straight is available depending on how you access your keyboard. Please keep this in mind. Other than being conscientious, another way to address this deviation of the wrist is to use a natural style keyboard that will allow you to automatically, in most cases, keep your wrist in a straight line. This straight line or neutral wrist position decreases stress and strain, therefore over time minimizing your likelihood of discomfort and wrist injury. A natural style keyboard is not a necessity for all employees. Neutral wrist position can fairly easily be maintained using a regular style keyboard as long as you are conscientious of that natural wrist position and keeping it in a straight line. Another common area of irritation is awkward position of the mouse in regards to how it impacts the shoulder. As you see in this clip, reach and extension to the mouse as well as reaching beyond the number pad can be problematic, increasing strain and pressure on the shoulder. By keeping the mouse directly next to the keyboard and within easy reach, we can minimize external rotation and reach on the shoulder. The important thing to remember is that this is only an issue because of the number of times that we reach for the mouse during the day, with a large amount of repetition for that task. Another way, if necessary, is to decrease the use of the number pad and therefore removing it from the equation. This will decrease the amount of external rotation and therefore impact on the shoulder and neck. This would be considered an extreme recommendation in regards to most employees, as we do access the number pad for many of the jobs that are required. This would only be necessary if the employee is having discomfort and irritation in the shoulder or the elbow. Regardless of your workstation setup during these challenging times, we encourage you to get up often and move. Even the most ergonomic workstation can be problematic if sustained in one position for long periods of time. Regardless of what activity you decide to do when you move away from your static workstation, it is important to remember to not remain static for any more than 1 hour. In this clip, you'll see several different exercises that are typical of movement when you get up from a static position. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have problems with discomfort or your workstation, please speak with your supervisor immediately.